tiny bit. There we go. So welcome into day 12 of the 12 days of Christmas. We are wrapping it up today with a host gift that can be created with any stamp set, any designer series papers that you have. Your most important tool today is going to be your paper trimmer and your bone folder. There are a few extra supplies that you might not have available in your craft supply. I will let you know where I got them from in case you're interested in getting some as well. So again, thank you for joining me. If you've enjoyed any of the tutorials, please forward them on to friends who might also be interested. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel so that you can get all the video tutorials that I post. All right, so my first thing is the host set is going to be a portfolio of note cards. This is going to be along the thank you notes that you might need after Christmas, maybe even just sending off thinking of you notes. So I have a nice little portfolio that's very easy to create, and as I said, you could do it in any pattern, any theme. I am choosing to use the Season of Chic designer series paper as well as the stamp set. And I'm using the coordinating dies that go along with this stamp set. The dies are very cool, as is the whole set. This is a set for all the seasons. You've got images for fall, for winter, for spring, and for summer. And it's an A+ stamp set. It's got the greetings that you need as well. And I love that this has a happy birthday, I'm here for you, and a thanks, and an amazing sentiment. So really nice stamp set. The dies are awesome. I'm going to show you one in particular that sold me the first time I saw it. And that is what we are using today as we craft. As I said, the first or the most important tool that you're going to need in this project is going to be your paper trimmer. And we are going to start off by creating first the portfolio that's going to hold these note cards that you will be able to gift a hostess. So we're going to start off with some scoring. I'm using a sheet of the Season of Chic paper. This is very cool paper. You can see already it's got that gold foil inlay, and the flip side has a pattern. This particular one is the one for winter with the snowflakes. I have my Stampin' Trimmer at the ready, and we are going to start with some scoring. And the first thing I'm going to do is score the entire sheet. We're not trimming it down. It starts at a 12 by 12. We're going to score at 2 inches. And this, although I'm using it at this time of the year as a hostess gift, it could be a gift at any time of the year. So I'm going to score at 2 inches, and then I'm going to score at, and let me run that one more time just to make sure it went through, and then a second one at 5 3/4. So all you need to do is remember those two measurements, 2 and 5 3/4. Then I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. So I'm just going to flip it around to the other side, and I'm going to do the same measurements, 2 and I'm just, this particular project does require some accuracy, so try to be as close as you can to the measurements. So first at 2, and then at 5 3/4. So just those 2 measurements that you need to remember, 2 inches and 5 3/4. Now I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, and I'm going to score at 2.5. So just 2 scores going this way at 2.5. And a second score at 8 1/4. So 8 1/4. I'm not sure if you can see. I think you can. Let's see. There we go. So 8 1/4. All right, that is all the scoring we've got. So I'm going to push my trimmer out of the way. And next we're going to fold and we're going to burnish on all those score lines. So we have 2 right now in this orientation. I'm going to flip it. We're going to fold, burnish, fold, and burnish. And we're going to do it in both directions. So now I'm going to flip it the other way and I'm going to burnish the other direction. This is an origami project. We're not going to use any kind of adhesive. So we do need the paper to be very cooperative. And that's the reason I'm folding and burnishing on both sides. I'm going to keep it on this side just for the time being. It's a lot easier for me to see the score lines on the dark side. But I just rotated and I'm going to do the same on these scores. Oh my. We have puppies on this side of the gate. I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't think it's going to work out at all, actually. So I might have to take a break, round up the puppies and put them on the other side of the gate. Otherwise, they're just going to have a free-for-all here. Let's see. Let me take a break. Let me open that up so you can have a look. Okay, I'm back. That is too funny. This morning, the puppies were invited to the other side of the gate, and now I think that they think they're always welcome on this side of the gate, but they still need to be monitored quite a bit. All right, so I was in the process of folding and burnishing in the other direction. Kind of lost my train of thought there. Hello, Faye from Granite. Where is Granite, Faye? What state is that in? And thank you for commenting and letting me know that you're here. Oh, North Carolina. Oh, wow. Well, thank you for joining. I have no idea what time of day it is. It's probably a little bit later where you are than where I am. I appreciate you joining me on my final day of Christmas. This is the day 12 of the 12 days of Christmas. I've featured 12 crafts or projects as I've done my prepping for the holidays. Today is a wrap with a hostess gift that I think any hostess would love to receive, a very usable hostess gift. All right, I've scored, I folded, I burnished, and I'm just double checking that I have folded on all score lines and on both sides. As I said, this is an origami project. We are not going to use any adhesive on this project. And you'll see as I do my folding that we really want this to be the paper to be cooperating in all directions. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I have folded and burnished my 12 by 12. Next, I am going to put the pattern that I'm going to want on the outside of my portfolio, which is going to hold some note cards. I want my pattern that I want on the outside facing up. I am going to dog ear each corner. So I'm going to take starting at the left. I'm going to come up to the corner and I'm going to fold it over to the 2-inch score line. So I like to use my bone folder right up against the score line where I'm folding to kind of guide that in position. And I'm going to fold it and I'm going to place it right to the left of the score line. I do not want the paper to cross over that score line. That's going to help with the bulkiness. So I brought it over, I burnish it. I'm going to do the same on all the corners. So I'm going to go directly across to the right. I'm going to come up here to the 2-inch score line. You can use your finger, you can use your bone folder. I'm going to guide that corner down to the 2-inch score line, give it a dog ear, and I'm going to score it, or burnish it. Sorry, it's already scored. Okay, so right now I've got the two upper corners dog-eared. I'm just going to rotate it, and I'm going to do the same up at the top now. Again with the right, and I'm going to come to the outside edge of the score and fold the dog ear. I want to stay on the same side of the score line. I don't want to cross over. And I'm going to do this exact same on the opposite side. So coming up to the 2-inch score line, fold it over, meet that corner to the score line, and burnish. So your paper will look like this. It's got dog ears on all 4 corners. Now, it's a portfolio that's going to hold 4 note cards and 4 envelopes, and we want the portfolio to be able to stay closed. The way I'm going to keep it closing all the time is by adding these mini magnets. There are positive and negative, and I'm going to need one for each corner, a magnet for each corner of the 12-inch paper. So I picked my magnets up, my favorite shopping place that delivers right to my door. I'm going to get a negative, and I'm going to get the positive, and I'm going to let it meet up with the other magnet. You saw how it just married itself right to that magnet. And I'm going to get a second one, or second set. So I'm going to get a positive and a negative. So I'm going to bring the, whoop, that just attached itself. There's my positive. I'm going to bring in a negative, and I'm going to let it attract to the other magnet. There we go. So I have 2 pairs, 4 magnets. What I'm going to do is open up the dog ears flat. So the entire 12 by 12 is now flat with the dog ears open. And I'm just going to double check, make sure that everything's visible. So I'm now going to adhere these magnets to the corners, and I want them to land in the right spot. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to remove the backing off of one of the magnets. First of all, I'm going to push one aside. I like to use my Take Your Pick tool to remove the covering. So these already have adhesive on them. If your magnets don't, you can just add a mini glue dot. I'm going to put it up in that corner. So I have the pair. I have a negative that's attached to the 12 by 12, and you can see my positive magnet right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach it on the opposite side. I'll do that by removing the sticky right in here. So thank you for joining me this afternoon for the final day of the 12 days of Christmas. I hope that you've enjoyed my projects, and if you have, I hope that you'll join me on for happy hour. I usually do happy hours at 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoons. I usually do give a warning. And so the way I'm marrying up these corners, I'm going to take the opposite corner and I'm going to come up here and align it perfectly to the opposite corner. I'm going to push down, and so now my magnet is right where it needs to be. I'm going to pull that open, and I'm going to do the bottom corners now. So this is just a repeat of the magnets I added just a second ago. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the covering. So this Season of Chic is a beautiful set for all the seasons. And this particular pattern that I picked is the winter season with the beautiful snowflakes, the mint macaron, and evening evergreen background. You could use pool party in it as well. Looks like it has some soft succulent as well. All right, so I've got my magnet on the lower left. I'm going to do the same with this one that I did up at the top. I'm going to bring the paper over and align it right in position with the other corner. Now, I do want this opened, and in order to get it open, I'm going to have to be very gentle with those magnets so you don't tear the paper. And I'm going to open it back up. Perfect. So now I've got my 12 by 12 open flat. Now I'm going to fold the corners back in. And I'm going to flip the paper over. So corners are folded in. Remember, this is the outside of my portfolio. This is the pattern I want to see. I'm now going to flip this over. And on this side, you can see the score lines, at least you can from my vantage. You can see them a lot clearer. And I am going to fold, let me think, I've got to make sure I'm doing this right. The first thing I'm going to do is fold in at the 2-inch score lines. So I'm going to fold these over on the right and on the left. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to burnish. So once again, I'm going to fold over and I'm going to burnish these down. Folding and burnishing. So I've got my 2-inch scores folded over. I'm going to flip the paper over again. And this time I am going to bring down, fold this over at the first horizontal line. I'm just going to fold that down. And just like I did with the other, in order to keep it nice and flat and not bowing, I'm going to fold and burnish every time. And I'm also going to bring up the shorter pocket. You can see it coming along now. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to fold over and I'm going to burnish. And again, there's going to be a little bit of bowing. We want to keep the paper flat. Just like so. All right, so at this point, this is what your portfolio looks like. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot now. If you have any questions, make sure you're posting down below so I know what's going on or anything that I need to clarify. So I have the 2 pockets folding down. I have the shorter pocket down at the bottom. What I'm going to do is take this bottom layer and I'm going to tuck it right underneath. See how that holds it in place? And I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. Tuck it right underneath. And our portfolio is done. I'm going to fold this over and I am going to burnish just like every other step. Every time you fold over, burnish it down, and I'm going to do the opposite side too. So you're going to find you have about a 1/2 inch spine. Bring it back right through there. All right, and now I'm going to fold this over and it's going to close. Look at that. There's your portfolio. We are going to add our note cards. So we're going to stamp some quick and easy note cards. Let me pull this out of the way, bring in the note cards that we're going to be doing. But there is our portfolio with the 1/2 inch spine, no adhesive, really simple to do with just one 12 by 12 and your paper trimmer. All right, wait a minute. I'm going to go back. I'm going to bring this in because something's not right. Let me unfold this. These should not be out there that way. Let me bring that back open. I'm going to reopen it flat and try to open that up again. So the side I want on, I'm just looking, those magnets were kind of loose, so I'm going to put that right back into position. This is the pattern I want facing up. I'm going to fold the dog ears down at the right and left. I know what I did. I actually flipped did I flip it originally? I can't remember. I've got my corners in. Now I'm going to fold these in. That's what it is. Okay. Earlier, I think I flipped it and I shouldn't have. There we go. And I'm glad I looked at that just a little bit closer. There we go. All right, now I am going to, now I've got myself in I'm questioning what I'm doing. There we go. This needs to be down. This needs to come up. That's better. And those need to be folded under. There we go. We just want to make sure the dog ears are tucked in. That's better. There we go. That's what it should look like. So you should have a V on all sides. I'm going to go ahead. This is what I mean. The paper kind of buckles right here. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish. And when I close up again, now we've got it just a little bit more. And our corners are tucked in. There we go. So I think I flipped one too many times originally. Now when this marries together, it's going to be closed there. And when we add our note cards, it's automatically going to close because those magnets are going to attract. Okay, so let's go move on to our note cards. I am using the note cards that are already pre-cut, pre-scored. These are the basic white. They have the little coordinating envelopes. These are perfect for the portfolio that we just created. I am going to be stamping, and I'm taking the snowflake from the stamp set. So I'm going to use the snowflake, I'm going to use the thanks, and I'm going to use the thinking of you, and then also the I'm here for you stamp. So I have them pre-mounted on blocks. That one, the snowflake, is on block C. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so I do need my piercing mat. I'm going to fold that or open it flat, and I am going to be stamping in mint macron, so very light color. And I'm going to do second generation stamping, first and second generation stamping. And these note cards are really simple. They're one layer note cards, so they're not going to be bulky. I'm going to stamp once and then repeat a second time before inking up, and again, and again. And I'm going to fold that. I want one coming on the fold here, but I don't want it to get ink on my piercing mat. There we go. So just one extra snowflake. I'm going to go ahead and stamp a greeting, and I'm going to use soft suede. And the first greeting I'm going to use is that thinking of you. So these are great little notes your hostess could use to write a quick note and send off, ready to go. And I'm just going to put that right down lower left over the light snowflake. There we go. So that's as simple as that. You can stamp the coordinating envelope. Just put a couple of snowflakes on here. And again, when I stamp off the paper, I like to have my scrap paper there. There's my coordinating envelope. That's simple. So the note cards are already pre-cut, pre-scored, very easy to complete. This is a quick and easy hostess gift. I'm going to take a second note card, and again with the snowflake, I'm going to do my second generation stamping. I'm just going to kind of go down the note card. A few falling snowflakes, and this one I'm going to stamp with thanks, still in soft suede. And of course you could step up your cards with layerings or extra layers and embellishments. These are quick and simple cards. The important part is the note that's inside. So I'm just stamping with thanks. And I'm going to do my envelope as well with the snowflake. There we go. And so this little note card set is going to include 2 of each of these cards. So 2 thanks and 2 thinking of you. And then we're going to have our 4 envelopes. these are going to go into the portfolio, and let's put them in there now. You'll see how nifty this is. So I'm going to open up my portfolio, being gentle, and I'm going to put my note cards on the right. Look how nicely they slip in here. And because we have that spine there, we can add a little bit of depth where I'm going to put the envelopes to the left. Look at that, how fun is that? Okay, so the portfolio closes up and it's going to stay shut. It's got those magnets. We're going to decorate the cover as well. So I have got my favorite die from this die set is this netting. It's super cool. In addition to all the shells, the snowflakes, the leaves, the flowers, there's this netting, and I have die cut it. I went ahead and did some die cutting beforehand. I have die cut it just in basic white. We're going to add a little label in mint macaron, and let's see. I know that I want the greeting to be for you. So in the stamp set, the greeting says, I'm here for you. I just want that for you. And I am going to stamp in Evening Evergreen. And let's see if this is going to work. I just want that for you. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so I can see right through, inking up only that for you. Let me give it a try. Turn that over. And that's exactly what I want. And I'm thinking I'm going to want this little note. Let's see. Trying to think which direction I want it going. Let's see. I'm going to have it coming in from the upper left, coming across to the lower right. So I'm going to stamp that for you down here at the bottom. So inking up one more time, and I'm just, because I can see right through, I'm just going to put the for you in the ink, and it's going to come right down here at the bottom of that tag. By the way, the tag was pre-cut from mint macaron using the tailored tags dies. There we go. And we're going to decorate this up just a little bit. Let's put a couple of snowflakes in the background. So I've got some snowflakes. Not sure if you can see. It's color on color. Hello, Barbara from Texas. Welcome in. And I'm going to add a little bit more background texture. In the stamp set, we have more texture stamps. So let's see if I can find that one with the light splatter. And I'm going to use that in place. Just going to take that off. Add a little bit of the splatter. There we go. And let's see, I think I'm done with my stamping. I'll move that aside. This is going to come up in through here. I am going to add a little bit of gold cording, gold twine to the tag, and I think probably about 6 inches will do. So I'm going to bring that through, and I like to go front to back. There, and I'm also going to tie it down at the bottom. Bring my loop through. All right, I probably will be trimming that up. So let's get this adhered down. I'm going to use just my Tombow liquid glue. Let's see if I have it handy. And I'm just going to place a little bit of glue on the netting going across to make it stick. This little Hostess gift set would be Darling slipped into one of the upcycled gift bags you can create. That I showed you how to do that on a previous day. I'm envisioning this in one of the smaller bags. So I'm just going to push that down. My tag is going to go, let's see, it's going to be flat adhered. So I can go ahead and just add some flat adhesive all the way around. Pushing this down. All right. What do you think? Are you thinking you could use this project? I know I always need a little gift to bring along. And I could have just grabbed some cards from my stash and put them in one of my gift boxes. I thought I'd make something a little bit more special. There we go. Cut the tag there, and I'm going to add a little bit more embellishing. I am going to bring in a couple of die cuts of the snowflakes from the die set, and I have pre-die cut them in the distressed gold that coordinates really nicely with this paper. The distressed gold had been on unorderable status for so long. I went to check on it yesterday, and yay, it's available again. Oh, thank you, Mary Lou. I appreciate you making a comment. I like the project too. Very simple. Anybody could do it, right? The note cards stamp up super fast. The origami is fairly simple once you've got your scoring and your folding and burnishing done. Just be mindful of which side you are folding over, because you don't want those dog ears showing like I originally did. So you just have to be checking. Let's see, I'm going to bring in my gold snowflake here. And I'm going to add one more snowflake, same distressed gold. It's flat adhesive. I don't want this to be popping up too much. The portfolio itself is about a 1/2 inch deep, so we don't want to add too much depth to the project. And I'm just going to bring it right down in here. And at this point, I'm thinking, I think I need a little bit more sparkle, but what do you think? There we go. There is my Hostess gift with some thank you notes or thinking of you note cards. Really easy to make with the 1 12x12 sheet and the pre-cut and scored note cards that I always have available in my craft room. And you are done with your Hostess gift. Look how pretty that is. You open it up. Let me get some of these things out of the way. It's not too distracting. So once you open, and remember, you just have to be gentle with it because it does have those magnets in there. You open up, you've got your envelopes on one side, your note cards on the other. You could also tuck in your postage stamps if you wanted to be extra helpful. Right in there, right into the pocket there. You still have a little bit of room. Again, it measures out to about a 1/2 inch spine. Thank you, Corinne. So there is the Hostess gift for day 12, the 12 days of Christmas. I feel like I made a dent in my to-do list. I still have many things to get done. I still have a lot of shopping to do, actually, but I feel a lot better having some of my gift items completed. I have been boxing up things as I've been going along. Some of my sweets are boxed up, my cards are boxed up, the gift cards, the socks. I have shared a multitude of projects with you. I hope you've enjoyed them. And I invite you to return to happy hour. I will be taking off now until just after Christmas. I won't have happy hour until then. Normally happy hour is at 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, Pacific Standard Time. I hope you can join me. If you want to review or replay, this is always available on Facebook, but it's also going to be over on the YouTube channel so that you can take note of the measurements on where to score and the step-by-step on folding the origami portfolio. All right, so let's see if I have any questions before I log off. Otherwise, I'm going to wish you a happy holiday season. We still have over a week before Christmas, so I feel like I'm doing well. Still plenty of time left to get some of those last minute things done, but we've made a great head start, right? Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the new year. Happy Christmas.